things to really get them in our minds. And today, the aspect of his character that we're going to be discussing is the holiness of God. And the title of today's message is God is holy. God is holy. So let's turn to Isaiah chapter 6. And I want to read one of the most famous scriptures about the holiness of God in the Bible. This is one of two that are probably the most famous scriptures about the holiness of God. Isaiah chapter 6, starting in verse 2, it says, Isaiah gets a vision of the Lord sitting upon the throne, high and lifted up. And he says, above the throne stood seraphim. Each one had 6 wings. 2 he covered his face, 2 covered his feet, and with 2 he flew. He says, and one cried one to another and said, holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. The whole earth is full of his glory. These angels are saying this to each other, surrounding the throne of God in Isaiah's vision. They are constantly saying, holy. Say it with me. Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. The whole earth is full of his glory. Constantly they're saying this, holy, holy, holy is the Lord. He is thrice holy. But what does the word holy even mean? I've been doing a poll. In fact, I asked a couple people just this morning. I've asked 3 people just this morning, what is the definition of the word holy? And I'm those that have already answered this question, I'm gonna popcorn this a little bit in our audience. And just shout it out what you believe the definition of the word holy is. And don't be afraid of being wrong. What does the word holy mean? Pure. Righteous. Sanctified. Belonging to the Lord. Separate from sin. These are all great answers. And they're all on the pathway of being correct. But we find the word holy to be very, very difficult to explain or to define, even though we know it, but we don't know it. Does that make sense? Yeah. And in the Old Testament, there are 3 words actually translated holy, and they all sound very, very similar. First, you have the Hebrew word kadosh, kadosh. And then you have the Hebrew word kodesh. You have kadosh and kodesh. And that comes from a root word, kadash. I told you they sound a lot alike. You have the Hebrew word kadosh. I'm gonna let you spell that however you want to spell it. If you look it up online, in the English it'll be usually Qadosh. And then you have kodesh. And you spell that however you want to spell it, but online it's usually spelled Kodesh. And I did it that way just to keep them separate in my mind, because this can get confusing. And the root word, kadash, is Qadash. Now, I'm going to explain how these are different. The first word, kadosh, is an adjective, so it's describing something. And the definition of that is holy. Simple enough. Kodesh is a noun. And that is meaning a holy thing or a holy place. Like if you come to when Moses meets God at the burning bush, he says, the place whereon you're standing is holy ground. The ground is holy. This is a holy place. It's a noun. And you know, a noun is a person, place, thing, or idea. You didn't know you were coming for an English lesson, did you? Talking about Hebrew. I don't know how that works out, but it does. Both derive from the same root word, kadash, meaning to be holy, or, here's the kicker, set apart. To be set apart. And that's the secret of the word holy. The English dictionary defines the word holy as, for those taking notes, dedicated or consecrated to God for a religious purpose. Dedicated or consecrated to God for a religious purpose. It also means to be sacred. These all ring true, right? It's like, that's why popcorning it, they're all part of the sum. But the end destination is a lot more. The dictionary also defines it as to be holy, as to be exalted or worthy of complete devotion as one who is perfect in goodness and righteousness. I know you're taking notes and you're trying to keep up with me. I'm going to repeat it. Holy in the dictionary means dedicated or consecrated to God for a religious purpose. To be sacred. To be exalted or worthy of complete devotion as one who is perfect in goodness and righteousness. Now we got to take all of that, but it also means to be set apart. Every single thing in the Hebrew is about setting apart. And that's why the word sanctified was actually mentioned, and sanctified actually also means to set apart. But one is an action and the other is a destination, shall we say. I gave this example